Rolling tayo, sir, in 3, 2, 1, and...
Wait, how will I...
Sir, naka-record na, bilisan mo na. Nakikita ka ng mga viewers.
Okay. Bale, okay. Hello, learners out
Sir, mas
there.
lively pa po.
Slightly pa? Okay. Well, hello, learners out there.
Okay na yun, sir, okay na yun.
Okay na? Okay.
Opo.
Hello, learners out there. So, sorry you've called us preparing for our presentation for you learners out there. But, you know what? We're so happy because you're still with us learning the marvelous world of arts. Still, I'm your Mapeh teacher for today, Sir Ferdinand, and welcome once again to Valenzuela Live Streaming. In our previous lesson, we've talked about the arts of Southeast Asia, particularly the countries of Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, and Singapore. And now, for the continuation, we will be exploring the countries of those countries again, but now we will be adding Laos, Vietnam, and Brunei. Well, as soon as we finish our discussion for this session and the activities in our module, you are expected to number 1, reflect on and derive the mood, the idea, or the message from the selected artifacts and art objects. For number 2, appreciate the artifacts and art objects in terms of their utilization and their distinct use of art elements and principles. And for number 3, incorporates the design, form, and spirit of Southeast Asian artifacts and objects in one's creation. And for number 4, traces the external and internal influences that are reflected in the design of an artwork and in the making of the craft and artifacts. But before we formally start, let me give you some reminders of our social media etiquettes. First, think before you click. Second, as much as possible, do not use all caps when writing the comment box. Third, you have to speak kindly. Kindly. Fourth, make sure to listen attentively. And for fifth, do not multitask. Multitask, do not. And lastly, always share useful and relevant information. So, let's begin. And again, before we begin, I shall have to change my outfit. So, before we stepping up to our topic for today's session, which is the continuation of the arts of Southeast Asia, fabric design, arts and crafts, and sculpture, I am inviting you to focus and answer the following items. You remember our previous lesson, right? How about the videos? You still remember them, are you? Okay. So hold on to that part because that will be our activity for today. For 10 seconds, I will be showing you parts of videos from our previous lesson and you have to tell what arts, crafts, or sculpture the video is talking about. So, let's start. For number 1, time's up! The correct answer is that is the clip from Mapeh. Number 2. Time's up! Did you get it right? The answer for number 2 is clip of Wow Kite. For number 3, Time's up! The correct answer is that is a clip of Lloyd Catong Lantern Festival. For number 4. Time's up! So the answer for number 4 is this is the clip from Merlion. And last, for number 5. Time's up! The correct answer is this is the clip of Angkor Wat. How many correct answers did you get? That is impressive! Now that you are really warmed up, let's travel again to Southeast Asia and continue from where we get started. By this time, we will be categorizing the arts and crafts and sculptures of the countries by the following. There. Number 1, fabrics. Number 2, thread. And for number 3, their sculpture. Let's start with the fabrics. For fabrics, we have Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. For Thai silk making is considered to be one of the finest arts in the world, a product of a unique manufacturing process and very unique patterns and colors. As for Cambodia, they have 2 main types of weaving. The Ika technique, which is to create patterns, then the weaver's tie and dye portions of weft yarn before weaving begins. Another one is the uneven wheel, which is produced by weaving 3 threads so that the colors of one thread dominates the side of the fabric. According to Lao tradition, stories of their history were not passed orally, nor it was written, but they are weaved, strand by strand. The most diverse of these stories are the ones woven into a sea. The Lao women's ankle-long skirt whose patterns are unique to each skirt. Vietnamese, on the other hand, have a wide range of fabrics. They are: number 1, they have Shantu taffeta. For number 2, they have the Bengali print. And for number 3, they have the ebony satin. Now, for the thread. Let's go to Vietnam. It is said to be the birthplace of the golden thread. Many of the Vietnamese fabrics originated from Ha Dong, the center of weaving and sericulture. For centuries, all jacquard looms are still used, weaving patterns, continuing centuries-old symbols and characters. For sculpture, we have Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia, Malaysia, Laos, and Brunei. As we have discussed in the last lesson, Angkor Wat takes sculptures of different images is almost as old as the Singapore itself. This was constructed and dedicated to the goddess of Mariamma, which is worshipped for her power to cure disease. Its most interesting feature is its impressive gupura, or tower, over the main entrance, which is decorated with numerous Hindu deities. And lastly, we have the sculptures in Brunei. Take on a more utilitarian role than an aesthetic one. Example of their creations can be seen at the ASEAN squares in the ASEAN member countries. Time for our activity. In order for us to fully appreciate our discussion, we will be having an activity that will extend our mind in arts. Again, let's call my former student, Briggs. Good morning, Briggs. Are you there, Briggs?
No, sir. He's not here.
Oh, so who will assist me?
I will be the one.
Oh, thank goodness, Rona, you're there.
Hello, sir. Riggs told me that he needed time to grind for his upcoming scrim on ML. That's why he asked me a favor to assist you for today's activity. That's why he's not here, and I'm here.
Okay, so thank goodness, Rona. Thank you for helping us now.
My pleasure, sir. As always. This is our finished product. As you can see, I used my imagination to make this. And for you, use your imagination to be your inspiration to make an art like this. Thanks again to my dear friend Dory, who helped us record this activity. Take it away, Sir Carrington. Bye!
A great achievement you've got by doing the eggshell plating. And now, this is the rubric for our scoring. Wow! Now, let's assess our output by answering these questions in our notebook. For number 1, is my work worth emulating? How was I able to come up with this project? For number 2, was I able to properly apply the colors and the design? And for number 3, what part of the project did I enjoy doing the most? And now for our assessment. Get your paper and pen and answer the following questions by choosing the letter of the correct answer. Let's go! For number 1, in our discussion, we have discussed about the following except A. Batik, B. Fabric, C. Thread, or letter D. Sculpture? Time's up! The correct answer is letter A. For number 2, in Cambodia, they have two weaving techniques. The first one is Ika technique, while the other one is the letter A, odd even rotation. B, 3-layer process. Letter C, an even quill, or letter D, machine program. Time's up. The correct answer is letter C, an even quill. Let's proceed to number 3. Thailand has their famous sculpture which is known as A. Wat Si, B. Wat Pat, C. Wat Po, or letter D. What's Up? Time's up! The correct answer for number 3 is letter C. Wat Po. Number 4. It is said that the craftsmanship of Prabang in Laos was not from Lao but from letter A. Sinhalese, B. Vietnamese, or letter C. Cambodian, or why not letter D. Tamilese? Time's up! The correct answer for number 4 is letter A, Sinhalese. Last one, number 5. The title of our activity that we have done with the help of Ronaldin is blank. Letter A, clay sculpture. Letter B, paper weaving. Letter C, plastic cast mosaic, or letter D, eggshell painting. Time's up! The correct answer is letter D, eggshell painting. Congratulations, learners! How many correct answers did you get? Can you give me a heart? Or a wow emoji if you were able to get the perfect score? Great! In case you weren't able to get all the items perfectly, don't worry. What you did today is a good start towards improvement, and also your teacher in Mapeh will help follow up the discussion. Ma'am and Sir will be more than willing to assist you. And for your assignment, find a picture of sculpture from the internet and try to describe its origin, its history, materials, and the purpose of the sculpture. Well, thank you very much for making yourself connected in our discussion for today. Keep everyone safe and have faith. See you again in our next Valenzuela live streaming.
And cut. Okay na sir, tapos na po. Salamat po.
Talaga ba? Tapos na?
Opo, opo.
Talaga? Baka sa itang pakunita dito, recording pa rin.
Ay, opo sir, recording pa rin po pala. Sorry po, akin po. Cut na po natin.
Makahiya naman sa mga learners. Anyway, see you again in our next Valenzuela live streaming.